the, yep.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the July 21, 2025 Board of Commissioner meeting to order. We will start with an invocation that'll be delivered by Pastor Greg Robertson of Growing Oaks Community Church in Reidsville. That'll be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance from Miss Kendall Watkins, and Commissioner Richardson will introduce Miss Kendall. So if everyone would please stand and remain standing for the pledge as well. Pastor. Well, the invocation first.
Let us pray. God, we thank you for this day that you've blessed us with. God, you are so good. You're a God of grace. You're a God of love. You're a God of goodness. And Father, we just thank you for the love you've shown to us through your Son, Jesus. God, we pray for your blessing, Lord, to be upon this meeting. God, I thank you for each one who is here. And God, we do pray for Rockingham County. God, we pray for your peace, for your love, for your grace to bless this county. God, bless our nation. God, we just glorify you. We exalt you. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Commissioner Richardson.
Thank you very much. Kendall, come on up in just a second. Kendall's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, but I'm going to go ahead and introduce her. She's from McMichael High School, and this year she's going to be representing our county at an honors program that we have that's in association with the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners, where she will participate through the Boys and Girls Club. And after she does the Pledge of Allegiance and we sit down, she's got a presentation to tell you about the Boys and Girls Club. And we're so pleased to have you here, Kendall. Thank you very much. So if you would render the appropriate honors and you would lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
And now you're up, ma'am, and the rest of you can sit down.
There you go. Hello, my name is Kendall Watkins. I'm 14 years old. I've been going to the Boys and Girls Club of Eden for 4 years. I've been nominated to represent the Boys and Girls Club of Eden by attending the 2025 Boys and Girls of America Youth Boys Conference. My Boys and Girls Club experience has been a positive one by successfully helping me overcome many things in my life. For example, it has helped me grow as a person by giving me many good opportunities for my future. Some of those opportunities have been field trips, experiences, and programs. Many of the programs I participated in have helped me see my future more clearly by helping me focus more on school and further my dreams of becoming a nurse. Another way my Boys and Girls Club experience has helped me is by keeping me out of trouble and learning coping skills as I mature while handling negative social media and drama. I've learned to make good choices through smart moves, street smarts, and healthy habits. In conclusion, without my Boys and Girls Club experience, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Thank you, Kendall. We appreciate that. And for those of you that might not be familiar with Youth Voice, it's a program sponsored by the entire group of county commissioners throughout the state. And we don't always get exactly 100 youth representative there, but we get very close. And not only is it a chance for the youth to have a rewarding experience, it is quite an honor to represent your county. And we've been fortunate in the past to have some extraordinary representatives. And Kendall, we appreciate you carrying on that. So thank you very much.
Ms. Kendall, if you would join us, Commissioners, if we'll step down for a few photographs, that'd be good. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we understand why you might be reticent not to have your picture made with us, but
Congratulations.
Very proud, Grandpa.
Us as well.
Do a couple of them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
stay here? Yes, stay down. Stay down here.
Oh,
And ladies and gentlemen, the item B, we're rescheduling to next month. But then item C, we're excited to recognize the Rockingham County Cougar softball team, and I believe we've got a resolution. Lance, if you would.
yes, sir. A resolution congratulating the Rockingham County High School Cougars softball team for their 2025 NCHAA Team 3A Championship. Whereas the Rockingham County High School Cougar softball team played the Scotland High School Fighting Scots on May 31st, 2025, and won by a score of 1-0 to capture the 2025 North Carolina High School Athletic Association State 3A Team Softball Championship after completing a successful season compiling a record of 28 wins and 1 loss. And whereas the win for the Cougars is the first Rockingham County High School Team 3A championship softball title in the school history, and whereas the success of the 24-25 Rockingham County High School Cougars softball team, according to Coach Candace Langle, can be attributed to the determination of the team from the beginning of the season to win a state championship, especially the 7 seniors who previously had come close. And whereas further, Coach Langle stated the girls have worked so hard, and I couldn't be more proud of how they handled the pressure. They rose to the occasion and finished the job. Now, therefore, the Rockingham County Board of Commissioners hereby congratulates the Rockingham County High School Cougar softball team for its outstanding season and expresses the gratitude of all of Rockingham County for its accomplishments in bringing the 3A State Softball Championship to the County of Rockingham, and congratulates each of the following players, coaches, and individuals for their personal contribution. The players: Cameron Winnett, Bella Smaldone, Bella Jones, Lillian Rakestraw, Ava Grace Pruitt, Macy Hardy, Kennedy Kirby, Zoe Sneed, Bailey Macy, Lily Stripmatter, Ella Brannock Presley Roth, Laney Reb, Winter Dixon, Emily Rumbley, Allie Humble, head coach Candace Langle, coaching staff Jonathan Moore, Carrie Cable, athletic director Adrian Doss, and principal Russell Vernon. This, the 21st day of July, 2025. Mr. Chair?
Thank you. Gentlemen, if we could have a motion to approve that resolution. Motion by Commissioner Richardson, second by Commissioner Hall. All in favor, let it be known by the sound of aye. Aye. And ladies and gentlemen coaches, if y'all would come forward, please. Well, congratulations. So we've got a framed resolution to present to you. We're certainly proud of all of your accomplishments. I know you had some tremendous games there at the end, especially. Exciting times, had some tremendous performances. I know your MVP from the championship is up in Pennsylvania right now. And you also have your MVP here for the season, and I believe I was Player of the Year for the state. And Coach Langle, I'd hand over the microphone to you.
Oh, thank you. I guess we just want to say thank you. Thank you for having us, and thank you for, acknowledging us and for this. We're really grateful. And, like I said, we had a goal at the beginning of the year, and the girls worked hard and made sure that that goal became a reality. And so we couldn't be more proud of them and happy to represent Rockingham County and Rockingham High School.
Thank you. If y'all would, just stick around for a few photographs.
Let's see here. I'm gonna get everybody in as tight as we can get everybody. We got a lot of people. I'm gonna get everybody in there. Perfect. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Stay there for me. 1, 2, 3. All right. Very good. Congratulations.
I'm sorry.
We work from a prepared agenda, and I believe there are a couple of modifications, which we've already skipped over 4B, which was the recognition with the Duke Energy grant. But if we could have a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion for the consent agenda, if we can add approval of 2 sole source providers, Core and Main and Brady Integrated Solutions, and then also to add to our closed session pursuant to NC General Statute 143.318-11A3 in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege between the county attorney and the board to consult with the county attorney regarding the case Camp Carefree v. Rockingham County.
Do we have a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, second by Commissioner Kellum. All in favor, let it be known by the sound of aye. Aye. Next is the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda tend to be non-controversial in nature. And if you have any questions about items on the consent agenda, I would encourage you to reach out to Lance Metzler, our county attorney, our county manager, and his staff. They'd be glad to answer any questions about items on the consent agenda. With that, gentlemen, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Hall.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Richardson. All in favor, let it be known by the sound of aye.
Aye.
All right, next is public comment. We do have people that signed up for public comment. If we could get, I'm not sure if you or Clyde are going to read that.
I'll read it.
You'll read it? Okay.
The public comment period shall be for the purpose of allowing members of the public to present any matter pertaining to county business or items on the Board of Commissioners' agenda. Remarks shall be addressed directly to the Board of Commissioners, not to the staff, the audience, or media. The chairperson shall open the public comment period. Any speaker who wishes to speak shall approach the podium and not speak from his or her seat. Each speaker shall clearly state his or her name and physical address when he or she approaches the podium. Each citizen shall be allotted 3 minutes. Citizens will be allowed to yield their time on a specific topic by utilizing one more attendee's time. This would allow no more than 6 minutes. The total amount of time allotted for the public comment period is 30 minutes. Your time will be displayed on the monitor in front of you. The clock will start with 3 minutes unless yielded time to 6 minutes. You will hear a beep at 1 minute to alert you to wrap up your comments. If you are yielded your time or time is yielded to you, then please let the chairperson know in advance. Speakers will not be allowed to campaign for public office, promote private business ventures, or use language of a personal nature which insults or demeans any person or which, when directed at a public official, is not related to his or her official duties. The Board of Commissioners may accept written comments in lieu of oral statements. Written statements can be delivered to the county manager's office. Mr. Chair.
Thank you. First is Doug Isley.
I'd like to, according to the rules, yield my time to Mr. Fink.
Okay. Second is Jim Fink.
Good evening, Commissioners and Rockingham County residents. I want to start by saying that there are a number of reasons that this...
You could, I believe the rules indicate you need to state your name and address.
All right. Jim Fink, 405 Wedgewood Court, Eden, North Carolina.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners and Rockingham County residents. I want to start by saying that there are a number of reasons that this country and state and our county are great to live in. But there is one reason that stands out for me, and that's the right to free speech. And that's why I get to talk to you all tonight. I served a little time in the military straight out of high school and learned many things like honor, duty, leadership, and integrity. I strive daily to uphold those values, but I'm not perfect, and I often come up short. Today, I want to share some examples and concerns about some members of this body that shows no honor, no integrity, no duty, no transparency, and certainly no leadership. We can look back to the casino issue where you all took a partially taxpayer-funded trip to the Cordish casinos in Maryland secretly It only came out after diligent people used FOIA requests to find out and made you all come clean. After you ousted 2 planning board members for daring to question the zoning change, and even after nearly 900 people showed up in dissent, you still voted to approve the zoning change. Now we have Chairman Berger is communicating with the Rockingham County Board of Elections using a government email address to potentially weaponize the county commission against the hardworking employees of the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office. I want to share with you some of the emails that have came to light. And it's going to sound a little bit awkward in between a couple of them because there were some phone calls made and the responses from the Board of Elections will address those. So after a phone call, Kathy Clark replies with, "Good afternoon. I do not have any information for before 2017, nor does the state board. I know Tina Cardwell had multiple file cabinets that were quote unquote cleaned out by previous board members, and that would be Reese and Ferguson. And I do know that if any of these files would have been there. I have many emails coming to you, and I'm still working on 2024, but hopefully get that to you tomorrow. All this information is on the State Board of Elections website." Mr. Berger replies with, "Okay, thank you." There was more apparently phone calls. Kathy replied again to those, and then Chairman Berger replied with, "Thanks. Can you also send a copy of the communication statute that authorizes destruction of records that exist prior to 2017? Kathy replied back on the 16th at 10:16 that, "I'm sorry, I do not have this information. I will check with the State Board of Elections to see why they do not have records prior to 2017, but I can't answer for this office." She went on to say another phone conversation afterwards, "I have a file for Mark Pegram beginning in 2018. I do not have anything for Philip Berger Jr. His financial reports are on the State Board of Elections website from 2005 to 2022. Mr. Berger replies back with, "Do you have mine prior to 2017? Kathy replies with, "Yes, there are files from 2015 for you." Mr. Berger says, "Can you provide minutes of meetings of board discussions that took place in regards to destruction of public documents? You have already indicated nothing exists in terms of board action to authorize the destruction, but there was discussion either before destruction or after discovery of the destruction. That was a question." Kathy replies back, "Kevin, all minutes on the Rockingham County Board of Elections website. Some meetings were videoed. As far as directors of elections being sworn in, I checked in with the State Board of Elections and was told it was recommended but not required." Kevin responded on the 24th of April, "Can you provide a time frame for the destruction of these public records? NCGS 163-278.37 requires that county boards to preserve reports. I believe the requirement is for at least 3 years after one leaves office. Do you have campaign reports for Craig Travis, and if so, what years?" I thought that was kind of an odd one. Kathy replies back with, "Kevin, I'm aware of the general statute for the retention of records. I was hired in June of 2020 as deputy director and was promoted to senior director on September 21st. Since that time, all retention laws and regulations have been followed. The campaign finance records that you have requested do not exist in this office, unfortunately. I was the only full-time employee from September 2020 until Paula was hired of April of 2021. Tony Reese and Bonnie Ferguson assumed the responsibility of daily operations from that time frame. I have financials for Craig Travis for 2023 and 24. Mr. Berger replies back with, "I understand you are not the director trying to determine what actually exists. Do you have any meeting minutes for board discussing the missing records?" Kathy replied back with, "I'm sorry, Kevin, but I was not aware that we were missing any campaign finance records until your original request. I went through minutes and don't see anything mentioning these records." So those were the email chains. These were the public information requests from Chairman Berger to the Board of Elections that was sent over. So I just have some follow-up questions. Chairman Berger, when you learned of the discrepancy, why didn't you contact the North Carolina Board of Elections like Sheriff Sam Page did and ask for an investigation? Coincidentally, you asked for 8 information requests that I just held up, and then a Charlotte News reporter asked for a similar request. Did you communicate that to this reporter? It appears that you did. Why were you silent once you learned of the mistake? Sheriff Page wasn't. He notified the Board of Elections. Is this how you act since you only won your seat by 3 acts? Seems like vindication to some folks. The other commissioners, when they were chair, Mr. Hall, Mr. Richardson, they didn't use their position like you are currently. Are the current commissioners okay with how you're weaponizing the position as chairman for the Rockingham County Board of Commissioners? Do they share your views? Because being silent would imply that they do. After speaking to many people in this county, I believe it is time to ask for your resignation as the chairman of Rockingham County Board of Commissioners in light of your actions. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate your time.
Diane Parnell.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, City Manager, my name is Diane Parnell. I live at 220 Woodland Drive, and I want to address the issue that was just expounded upon by Jim Fink. I will tell you what happened, that after the last election, I had a private conversation with the present director that we have of the Board of Elections. It is based upon one person's hearsay. That's all. Kevin Berger was not in the know of this. I kept this to myself because I promised that I would. We have no evidence. We had nothing to say about this except one person's saying that this had happened. Once this became, the Republicans were going to take over the Board of Elections, then the potential chairman that we were going to have, I shared that with him. He shared that with Kevin Berger. That's when something started happening. It was not a conspiracy, not anything else. We don't know where the records are for Sheriff Page or for Mr. Travis. We don't know where those went to, but people were looking into it, as I know that this board was very concerned. But I want you to know that I don't want someone taking the blame for something that I held on to, and I have told you why I admit to that, because it was based upon a hearsay and no factual evidence whatsoever. One other thing, if my time doesn't run out, that I would like for you to know is that I've had a number of phone calls or Facebook messages, and people are asking me, why did this set of commissioners do a reevaluation? Why did y'all do that? Well, these commissioners did not do a reevaluation. If you want to know the facts, you go to the North Carolina Department of Revenue. It did not fall on your shoulders. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Next comes to the public hearing. We have Adam Barr. His request to approve, it's case 2025-09 zoning map amendment, and that is about 0.49 acre parcel of land from RP to RA. Mr. Barr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Before us tonight is zoning planning case 2025-09. This is a request to go from residential protected to residential agriculture. This is coming to us as a conventional rezoning. So as we keep in mind in a conventional rezoning request, we're going to be looking at all of the allowed uses in the RP district in this instance and all of the allowed uses in the RA district, nothing of which is site specific or use specific. For the record, the tax pin is 892500874011, and the property is located at 2144 US Highway 158. The planning board did see this at their June meeting and voted in favor unanimously of approval. As you can see on the vicinity map, this is going to be on the eastern side of the county in between the city limits of Reidsville and the Caswell border. This is the zoning map of the parcel. As you can see, there's kind of some smatterings of RP, and really kind of in the whole area, you'll see a couple of different parcels zoned RP along 158. The rest, as you kind of get a little bit further away from the highway, you'll often see RA generally. But generally, you'll see kind of a mixture of the two zoning districts for the most part. Looking at the aerial of the map, we don't have any unique water features or anything of that nature. Mostly what we see in this area is going to be single-family residential as well as some manufactured homes. The comprehensive plan has us categorized as the O2 land class. In the plan, this is generally characterized as undeveloped areas, including agricultural and forestry land and low-density residential land uses. And the O2 land class generally calls for districts in that area to be zoned for residential agriculture. And with that, that is going to be all I have. So if you have any questions about the proposal, I'd be happy to answer them.
Have any questions before we open up the public hearing?
About it?
We've had maybe 3 or 4 calls on this, mostly just kind of, generally seeing maybe like the sign on the property, just kind of wondering what was going on, but it seemed to be mostly kind of informational, just kind of seeing what the proposal was.
Okay.
Mr. Richardson.
Does the applicant have adjoining property?
I don't believe he has any property in ownership, but I believe the applicant is here today, so he might be able to better answer that whenever we get to the public hearing on it.
There's going to be a public hearing, so we'll ask that.
Okay, sounds good.
Any other questions before I open it for public hearing? If not, then I'll open it for the public hearing. And no one signed up to speak during the public hearing, but with the applicant here, if you would step forward, please, so that Commissioner Richardson could ask you that question, we'd appreciate that. If you don't mind, just stating your name. So.
My name is Wayne Blackwell.
Thank you, Mr. Blackwell. Commissioner Richardson.
Yeah, thanks for coming up, Mr. Blackwell. It's not like it's a huge concern. I just thought you might have adjoining property that would allow this RA to match, but
Commissioner, can I stop you for just a second? We just got a message up here, Roy, that the feed was out. If you could check that. Working on it? Yes, sir. Okay. Are we good to continue? Yes, sir. Okay, I'm sorry. I just want to get that straight. Go ahead.
anyhow, do you have adjoining property?
No, sir.
Okay, that's all I need, sir.
Right, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, then since no one signed up, we will close the public hearing. So the public hearing is closed. Gentlemen, do you have any other questions, or do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to approve case 2025-09.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Kellum, second by Commissioner Barrow. All in favor, let it be known by the sound of aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I believe Chris Elliott, our risk management guy, is hiding in the shadows. I know, he was all the way in the back corner.
Back row back. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. It's good to be here tonight. I know that there has been some questions over the insurance. I just wanted to kind of handle any questions that y'all might have or go over the sheets that I provided to y'all. If you have any questions about that.
Commissioner Richardson.
Not a question. We've had a lot of discussion. I know the board, our intent is for the public to know what our insurance status is.
Okay.
So with that in mind, information that would be appropriate for the public and they having a right to know.
And if you could, I believe you included a chart in our packet. Is there a way to put that up?
Oh, you're going to test my skills. I'll see if we can do it.
So let's put this one up there. It has the.
If you could pull it down a little bit, there we go. Then you can see the years and, okay.
So basically, this past year, property values increased 7% for inflation, and the premium increased accordingly, roughly a 4% rate change on our property insurance. Inland marine values decreased 21.73% over the last year, and inland marine just basically covers the any type of equipment that the county has with years of depreciation and everything like that. Depending on the age of the equipment and how long we've had it, every year that depreciates. So we had a lot of it that was sold on gov deals and went through. General liability, if you look over the years of, let's see here, I'm going down a totally different thing, so let's cover this. Commercial property insurance right here for this year was a premium of $293,875 with an insurance deductible of $10,000. That's just generally considering inflation and the price that if we had a catastrophe at one of our buildings, we could replace that. So inland marine, like I'd mentioned right there, the deductibles for our equipment that can move and be out of place is $2,500. If you can see over time, that's went down just for the age of the equipment. And we also lost a lot of equipment when we sold off the stuff that we had for the landfill. That was a ton of equipment that we were being charged for. So this year, we're looking at a $10,030 premium. Crime. Again, that is a $2,500 deductible. If you can see over the time, that's kind of held the case at $2,509. That's no different than this year, no change. Commercial general liability insurance, $10,000 deductible. That's kind of went up over the time just for the amount of property that we've got, the amount of employees that we've got, including salaries and everything that y'all have done a really good job, which I appreciate paying the employees very well. I know I heard something a couple of months back that y'all didn't do a very good job at paying. They're not working here, so you've done a tremendous job. So I appreciate that. Law enforcement liability. That's a big hit that we took for the county, and because travelers decided not to cover our law enforcement liability anymore, we had to go outside and get other companies to cover that. And considering the issues that we have had, with the jail and some other different things, the best that we could get was a $210,000 premium with a $200,000 deductible per occurrence. That is pretty much making me and Clyde and the rest of the staff basically be self-insured with any claims that we have, up to $200,000. Public entity is a $10,000 deductible. That's went up that's a pure rate increase from travelers. It's kind of steady across all lines of coverage throughout the state. Employment practices, if you look at that, it's one I'm proud of. It's went down. And I have a document. If I could approach the board, I'd love to share.
Yes, sir.
With y'all. The document that I'm sharing with you is an audit that it's unheard of for travelers to drop a line of coverage and to not drop the county as a whole. And that document is the reason why they didn't drop us all the way. And they even kept the sheriff's department on with our auto policy. And if you look in the second paragraph there, and they're auditing, looking at the policies and procedures that the county has, he said it was very impressive. So they were impressed with the policies and procedures and the risk management things that we are doing internally, and that is holding our coverage with travelers intact. So I was very proud of that. When we look at our auto liability, that was a change this year. We've had an increase of our are accidents. And what Travelers did was they held tune with our $2,500 deductible, but vehicles that are $100,000 and above, they increased that deductible to $5,000. So that kind of held in turn, and then we had a fairly big increase in our premium.
If I could just,
Sir.
You said vehicles that are $100,000 and above. I believe that is probably just our ambulances. Is that right?
That is correct, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Then when we look at our umbrella liability, that's a $10,000 deductible. You can see over time, over the last 3 years, we've had about an $8,000 increase from 2022, 2023 to a $58,564 premium that we have now, which is unheard of considering the increase that we had in auto, because the umbrella overlaps the auto side of it. So that just goes to a testament that, you know, we're having really expensive claims, but we're not having a ton of them. It's just a lot of bad luck. So I wouldn't attest it to our programs and our risk management policies, because obviously they check those. It's just these deer around here are about like moose. I don't understand it. A lot of people hunt here, but there's deer everywhere, and they just like running in the side of our vehicles. I don't know why. Then we have our law enforcement liability excess, and I wanted to explain to you a little bit about the law enforcement excess and the employment practices excess that we have to carry now also. The law enforcement liability excess is because the Sheriff's Department is no longer covered under our umbrella because Travelers said they wouldn't cover them. So instead of having the excess, the employment practices liability excess, I'm sorry, I mentioned the wrong one. Instead of having an $11,000 premium that would cover $1 million coverage for all of our employees and the Sheriff's Office employees, now we have to pay $141,000 premium just to cover the Sheriff's Office employees and $200,000 per occurrence as a deductible for them for the next 12 months. And then the county covers a $10,000 deductible and $11,000 premium for all of our employees. The total for the insurance is $1,202,810.95. And then we have our administration fee with our broker, and then after that, it's $1.2 million. $1,238,110.95. I also wanted to explain, I've gave y'all a document from our workers' compensation and workers' comp excess coverage. That's merely based off 14.8% payroll increase, and that is paid, that is set by general statute, so that's what drives that coverage.
Oh, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I've got a question.
Commissioner Richardson, go ahead.
It begs the question, what can we do to improve our coverage, reduce our premium?
So Travelers wants to see 12 more months of improvement with the jail and the Sheriff's Department, and they feel like after that we could probably be very competitive with trying to get a better premium started up this year, but they want to see 12 months worth of improvement there. As far as the rest of the lines of coverage, the employment liability, we need to hold fast and keep doing what we're doing. With inflation, we need to pray. And I hope everything goes down right there, because our property values and the cost to have to replace a facility and not, it's just getting out of hand. Now, I would like to call out one department more than any, and that's our IT department. Throughout the entire state of North Carolina, cyber insurance is becoming one of the largest insurance policies that we can have. And at the Public Risk Management Association, we have talked to countless professors, our universities, even the insurance companies, and we're forecasting that cyber would probably be higher than property one of these days. So it's unheard of to see right here in our cyber coverage that we have went down from 29,727 to 23,852.56. But if you look back, the premium was 35,022.23. Our deductible has held the same. That's about the lowest you can get. But for the job that, and I know our employees can't stand it, and I know it's aggravating. Every time you got to hit that button to get on your computer and dual authentication, this and that. But Derek and his staff in IT have done phenomenal. It's something I'm going to show off at our Risk Management Association coming up in September.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Hall.
Yes, I was glad you brought up the cyber. What are our limits of coverage on the cyber?
So, that's a great question. So, we have a $2 million coverage for cyber. The cyber insurance, depending on what happens, we cover all of our citizens. So, putting a price tag on that, it is a $2 million right here, but when it comes to protecting data and doing that, there's really not a price that we can put on it. So there is an umbrella that sits over that to make sure that whatever that number is will cover.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Elliott, I kind of ran some numbers, and it looks like, so we've also got the 22-23 premiums on there. So commercial property has increased since the make sure I got the right year. I've got a different chart that you had also sent us that did not have 22-23. It had 23-24. So I'm going to make sure I mention the right premium as far as that comparison. And so from 23-24 to 25-26, commercial property went up 21%. Commercial general liability 31%. Public entity 28%. Business auto 33%. The umbrella liability 15%. Overall, it looks like it's about 28%. And then you mentioned as far as the law enforcement liability, so it sounds like we would need to combine the 210, 546, I'm sorry, I'm looking at, the 210, 756.90 plus this new figure of 141, 359.99 to get the total premium for that. Is that right?
That is correct. So
that went up from 23-24, 118%. So about 350, well, what is that? Well, it's about 3.5 times more than any other increase. And I believe there was also put in place a daily email for notification. Is that right?
That is correct. The insurance company requested to see specific parameters that were met. The county attorney graciously put a bullet point system together. The county commissioners requested that questionnaire be put in regarding what the insurance company met with all of us and asked us to do. And y'all put that in place, and the sheriff's office now fills that out daily.
Okay. And that's the only department that we send that to, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The other departments, I mean, we haven't had an issue with reporting from the other departments.
Per the document I gave y'all, they said that we're doing a stellar job.
Okay. All right.
Which I take that very seriously. I'm up to be the president of the North Carolina Public Risk Management Association, so I represent Rockingham County to all insurance carriers across the state of North Carolina and my peers throughout every municipality, community college, school system, and county seat of government, risk managers throughout the entire state. I sit on the board of directors. I represent Rockingham County. I'm proud to do that, but I take pride in trying to be the best at my job.
I know I certainly appreciate your efforts. I see that three of those line items have come down.
Yes, sir.
Which is a rarity in insurance. I also see that, and I hope this doesn't jinx us, but somehow you got the risk management fee to come down,
Yes.
even though the premium went up.
I'm doing a lot of their job. Clyde is too. So, yeah.
So we certainly appreciate all of your efforts with that. Are there any other questions? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Flip over. Items of new business. I believe we had discussed that, but then put it under consent agenda. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
No other items then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Commissioner comments. Commissioner Kellum.
I would like to start out by saying congratulations again to the girls softball team on a fabulous season and a state championship. Also, I believe our Department of Agriculture, they're going to have a session next month on the spotted lanternfly. So if anybody's interested in that or having issues in Reidsville, you can check in with me or Lance, and they'll direct you to that. I think it's August the 21st or 22nd.
All right.
That's all I have, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This Board of Commissioners, we speak through ordinances, resolutions, motions, and direct orders to staff. Last budget year, this board voted unanimously to increase the budget for the sheriff's office by close to $2 million. After the budget had been finalized, the sheriff's department came to this board and requested an additional $87,000 to provide for a nurse in the jail 24/7. This board again approved that request unanimously. This budget year, the sheriff's budget was increased almost $2.5 million. Included in that amount is $454,000 in salaries and benefits. Again, this vote was unanimous. This board has a responsibility to ensure, to the best of our ability, that every tax dollar is spent wisely. When we question rural fire departments, it does not mean we're against the firemen. When we question local school administrators, it doesn't mean we're against education. And when we question the sheriff or the sheriff's office, it does not mean we're against law enforcement. And there are many good and hardworking people in the sheriff's office and other branches of law enforcement as well. This board and me personally appreciate you and your service. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My thanks to everybody for attending, those here and those watching electronically. I also like to recognize the ladies softball team, now the state champions. A very impressive bunch, and 28-1 is almost unheard of in a softball or baseball field, but that's quite a record. I'd like to offer a caution to the public. If you haven't noticed, it's pretty hot out there, and sometimes it can creep up on you. And I've heard several comments from people about how they had to take breaks at previously they didn't have to take. So everybody needs to be cautious. Don't overexert yourself in this heat. And as usual, I like to recognize some of the county staff, and tonight I want to recognize Mrs. Jennifer Woods. Jennifer has been filling in of late because our regular clerk is dealing with an illness. Jennifer is very familiar with the job, having done that job in Eden, and we stole her from Eden to begin with, and now she's still with us working primarily in the county manager's office. But whatever she touches is done right. You can count on her. She's reliable. She's loyal. She just does a great job, and I think it's representative of the sort of employees that we have throughout the county. So thank you, Mr. Woods. That's all.
Thank you. Commissioner Barrow.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to recognize our elected officials we have with us tonight, which was Sheriff Sam Page. I also want to give a special shout out to School Board Member Philip Butler. He's not here tonight, but he sent us a message during the stream to let us know the stream was down. So thank you, Philip, if you're still watching. I'd also like to follow Commissioner Richardson's lead. Commissioner Richardson and myself, we serve on the board for the Boys and Girls Club of Eden, and I would like to again congratulate Miss Kendall Watkins for representing the youth voices for the County Commissioners Association. I'd also like to congratulate some employees. Since our last meeting, we had some staff over at the Sheriff's Office. They got recognized for years of service. We had Miss Penny Ferguson with 15 years. We had Lieutenant Christy Disher with 15 years. We had Emmett Rogers with 20 years of service, and Mr. Jason Richardson also with 20 years of service. So thank you all for your dedication to the county and your service. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Yes, I want to congratulate the Rockingham High School girls softball team. It's quite an accomplishment. And they've got some girls on that team that are going to the next level, playing various sports, several this year and also some next year, already committed for that. Also want to recognize one of our employees, or more specifically, a child of one of our employees. Miss Carrie Freeze has been with the county for a number of years, and her oldest son, Hayden Freeze, graduated from Moorhead High School and then went to Western Carolina. And for the past 3 years, he's played baseball at Western Carolina. And he's done so well that the Atlanta Braves drafted Hayden in the 20th round. He left for Florida on Saturday, starting his professional career. And so we wish Hayden well. We are sure that Miss Carrie Freeze will make the trip to Florida before long. And so we wish them safe travels, and congratulations to him.
That's great.
Then, next on our agenda is closed session. Before we go into closed session, I believe we had some really unnecessary noise from folks as far as specifically how something was listed on closed session. And we ended up getting emails, just two or three from Mr. Metzler, just verifying what the legal requirements are. So I'm going to hand it over to Clyde Albright. If you could just explain to the public why closed session is listed the way it is with names of lawsuits.
The law requires us to list the litigation by the caption. So that's why it's listed that way. It's in the statute that was changed as a result of a Court of Appeals case many years ago. So we have to name the case, and so the idea is to be open and honest about what we're talking about if a lawsuit has been filed against the county.
So it's for transparency reasons.
That's it.
And
yes.
So if the Department of Social Services is a party, we've got to put Department of Social Services on the agenda. Is that right?
That's correct. If they've been sued.
If the Register of Deeds is a party, we've got to put the Register of Deeds on the agenda. Is that right?
Yes.
And if the sheriff is a party, we have to put the sheriff on the agenda. Is that right?
That's correct. It's
Okay.
required by law.
Okay. So just wanted to make sure that was explained, just due to some silliness. So with that, if we could have a motion to go into closed session pursuant to NCGS 143-318-11A3, consult with county attorney regarding lawsuit. It was filed in June. It's 25 CVS 1231, Tammy Gray East plaintiff versus Samuel S. Page, Marcus Shane Bullins, and also the county is a party to that lawsuit, and Liberty Mutual Insurance Company. And also we had added, and you may have to, we had added the closed session to preserve the attorney-client privilege between the county attorney and the board to consult with the county attorney regarding the case Camp Carefree versus Rockingham County. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. With that, gentlemen, do we have a motion to go into closed session for those
So
two
moved.
things? Motion by Commissioner Hall. Second by Commissioner Barrow. All in favor, let it be known by the sound of aye. Aye. And I do not anticipate any action when we come out of closed session, but y'all are welcome to stick around. Thank you.